How to start anything is a difficult question. Today we'll be exploring different authors and their ways of starting a novel. This is the importance of a first line. Firstly, we have to discover what makes a good book. Perhaps it's the plot, the language. Could it be a well-rounded character? Of course not, it's the first line. Good first lines should provoke emotion, create a sense of suspense, be written well, and serve the story. Provoking emotion. When I talk about this, people sometimes think it's an emotion of despair or sadness. This can be any emotion, as long as it makes the reader want to continue this book, whether it makes them angry, sad, or just curious. The late Toni Morrison was an American novelist who truly encapsulated what it means to provoke emotion using your first line. Her first lines were very eerie and uncomfortable, and it made readers want to know what happens next. I believe this was a big part of her success when it came to her literature because of the oddness and the weirdness that would occur in her novels that you could sense from the very first line. 124 was spiteful, full of a baby's venom. The woman in the house knew it, and so did the children. This first line is beautiful. Technically, the only first line is 124 was spiteful. Toni is known for having short first lines that provoke this sense of emotion, kind of makes you feel eerie and uncomfortable, but makes you want to know more. 124 was spiteful. Who's 124? Is 124 a person? Is 124 a baby? Why does the baby have numbers for a name? You know, it's making you think, and the best first lines always make you think. They shoot the white girl first. With the rest, they can take their time. No need to hurry out here. I love this first line. Technically, again, the first line is only they shoot the white girl first. Still an amazing first line. It also creates suspense. I think this line is so good, and that is because of the casualness, however you say it. Like, it just sounds like such a casual thing. Like, oh, no need to hurry out here. But we're actually talking about murdering someone, essentially. Creating suspense. This method is most used in murder mystery novels, but it can be used in any type of literature, whether that be romance, comedy, and still be done in a beautiful way. Because at the end of the day, books need suspense, and creating a suspense like atmosphere through the first sentence is a very smart way to start your novel. And I believe that anyone can create a novel using suspense for the first line and do it beautifully. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. This is an amazing line, and it does create suspense because of the oddness of it all. It's a bright day, but it's a cold day, and now clocks are striking 13. I'm pretty sure that is impossible. The next line is this time there'd be no witnesses. Again, this creates an atmosphere of suspense because it makes us think, why don't you want there to be witnesses? Is there a crime taking place? Who committed this crime? Etc. The next line is I'm a sick man. I'm a spiteful man. An unattractive man. I think that my liver hurts. I love how this line just randomly changes. It jumps from like topic to topic. All of a sudden, you're sick, unattractive, and now your liver hurts. I think that is just an amazing way to start a book. A good first line should be written well. I personally like lines that just look pretty on paper, and I feel like a line that is written well, that's just music to your ears, is a great way to start a novel. The late F. Scott Fitzgerald was one of America's most celebrated novelists. He's created countless pieces of literature, ranging from novels, essays, and short stories, even dabbling in screenwriting. He is best known for his novels The Great Gatsby and The Beautiful and the Damned. The Great Gatsby has achieved tremendous success, and you may have even read it during high school English. It is an amazing story, and many of his novels have made it onto the big screen. Today we'll be exploring just what makes Scott Fitzgerald such a flamboyant writer, and it all stems from its very first line. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my head ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had. I really like this line. Although it is long, I feel like it is well written. It serves the story. It's an interesting way to start a story. Makes you think, what kind of advice was this? And makes us want to know more. Although long, it does serve the story and it is written well. In 1913, when Anthony Patch was 25, 2 years were already gone since irony, the Holy Ghost of this later day, had, theoretically at least, descended upon him. This first line is interesting, and it is also written well, in my opinion. Although it's not the best first line out of everything we've seen, it does serve the story. It is written well, and I also believe that in the novel there were so many other amazing lines. So it also shows that although first line is important, it is not the end all be all. You can still have a good book without a very strong first line. A good first line should serve the story. When I say serve the story, I mean it should make sense and also foreshadow to later events or introduce character, introduce plot. It should just overall serve the story, make us want to know more, and be an important part of the story, but not the end all be all. It is only right we include J.K. Rowling, considering her tremendous success in the writing industry. She is a novelist who is most famous for her works concerning the Harry Potter books. Her Harry Potter books are very popular, and right now I believe she is the highest paid writer, having a net worth of about $1 billion. She does a very good job of creating first lines that serve the story. Although the first lines are not necessarily groundbreaking, I still believe they serve the story, and also shows you can write a good book having an average first line. Harry Potter Book 1, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of Number 4, Pivot Drive, were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. I really like this first line. I think it's one of the best first lines out of the Harry Potter series that JK has used. I like how she's trying so hard to convince us of normalcy, and it makes you question it and also serves the story. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Book 2. Not for the first time, an argument had broken out over breakfast at Number 4, Pivot Drive. Not too interesting, but it does serve the story. Harry Potter Book 3, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter was a highly unusual boy in many ways, continuing the theme of the first two books. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Book 4. The villagers of Little Hangleton still called it the Riddle House, even though it had been many years since the Riddles have lived there. I really like this first line, and I also think it shows a shift in JK's first lines for the rest of the series. Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, Book 5. The hottest day of the summer so far was drawing to a close, and a drowsy silence lay over the large square houses of Pivot Drive. Again, still talking about Pivot Drive, keeping up with the same theme of the last few books. Book 6, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. It was nearing midnight, and the Prime Minister was sitting alone in his office, reading a long memo that was slipping through his brain without leaving the slightest trace of meaning. Before I read out this first line, I would just like to thank everybody for watching this video, and I want you guys to comment down below your favorite first lines from books. So without further ado, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Book 7. The two men appeared out of nowhere, a few yards apart in the narrow moonlight lane. I feel like this was a great way to end the series with this first line. It is a very good first line, serves the book, and I feel like it is beautifully written. Thank you again, and I'm Litzest.